Here at the Driving Miss Daisy show, and I'm in a what appears to be a sports booth that's owned by, what is your name, young man?
My name is Ryan Sims.
Ryan what?
Sims.
S-I-M-M-S?
1M.
1M.
Yes.
And so Ryan, you know, when I look at your space, you have done it's just an incredible job. You have all this male stuff, all this sports stuff, going back, I guess, to about the 1890s. Is that the oldest of some of the stuff that you have?
Probably right around
to
1890.
Probably the newest is around the late 50s or so. Is
there
that
you go. You're good. You have a great eye. That's about correct.
And so, how long did it take you to set up your booth? It's so masterfully done.
You know, not all that long. I store everything in trunks, and it's basically just pulling out of the trunks and just plastering it up. It's the stuff. The stuff makes itself look great.
I see.
Really.
That's why I was pointing out.
And so I was wondering that you've recently come back from a buying trip at Brimfield, in which I understand it's one of the larger ones.
Yes, that is correct.
And some people say it's the largest one.
I think from what I understand, it's the largest antique show in the world.
And I understand it could take up to 2 days to go through that show. Is that right?
More than that. It takes
how long would
5 days.
So it takes you about 5 days.
It's 5 days of 5 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It's tough, but it's worth it.
Now, when you were there, were you just sort of browsing around, or did you actually make any purchases?
Yeah, I probably purchased roughly 75 items, many for my home, some for my personal collection, and then some for the inventory you see here.
So, are there any items that you bought at Brimfield that you have here?
Yes.
Could you show me one of those?
Actually, this pinch hitter game.
The pinch hitter. Now this looks like one of the great items that you have here. Now, what can you tell me about that? So it's a pinball game, or?
Yeah, correct. Just a pinball game with great graphics, pinch hitter. There was some type of electrical mechanism to it, which I'm not quite sure yet how that works.
What do you think it would do? Like light it up or make noises?
It would make noises. Correct.
I see, kind of like a buzzer, probably.
Correct. Yeah, I purchased these polo mallets.
Wait. Before we leave that, so how much in hard cold cash would it take to get that stellar item from your hot little hands?
$85.
Gee, I was thinking more like $600.
No, $85 would get that.
Okay, well, let's take a look at another item.
Okay. Did you have a question, bro?
No, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay.
I'll come back.
This
is a pre-bowling. This is called Skittles.
A pre-bowling.
Yeah,
it's called Skittles.
So
would you know how to spell Skittle?
Skittles.
Okay.
So bowling as we know it has 10 pins. This was played prior to the bowling that we know. This had 9 pins.
9 pins. So the great advancement in bowling is that we got one more pin. Is that?
That is correct. Yeah, that's one.
Boy, technology just keeps on just whizzing along.
Exactly.
And so, how old did you say this was?
That's the turn of the century.
So this is
right
about 1895, something like that.
Probably right around 1900.
And so, how much in hard cold cash would it take to get this?
That would be $250.
So this would be $250. Now, if someone had this, would they just sort of leave it in their den, or would they actually like set it up and allow selected guests to have a hit at the pins, or the pins too delicate?
My prediction is that this would be bought by a designer of some type of clothing shop, or like a Ralph Lauren type shop. That's my prediction.
So how did you get into the business, and how long have you been at it? When I see someone with this quality of merchandise, and the fact that you go to make these pilgrimages to Brimfield, I would think you've been at it for about 26 years. That's just my guess. How long have you been at it?
Actually, a little bit more. I started when I was 6 years old, and I'm 46, so that's 40 years.
40 years. Well, I don't know. That sounds when did you actually, when you were...
First year of the Rose Bowl.
First year of the Rose Bowl.
And I didn't miss a year for at least the first decade that the Rose Bowl was in play.
Wow.
My dad and I would go out, we'd hunt, we'd buy all kinds of old advertising items, which he still has in his collection today. He's got a phenomenal collection. And I tagged along, and I always ventured to, for the sports stuff. And ultimately ended up building my own collection, then the collection just got too big. So I set up maybe once or twice a year out at the flea markets, really just to help people get started.
So is this not your real job?
It is absolutely not.
What do you do in the real world?
Yeah, I'm a partner, owner in a software company called Matrix Insights. It's a leadership development company.
Wow. Well, this is certainly a far cry from sitting at a computer.
This helps reduce my stress. So I do a lot of business travel, and typically when I get back on the airplane, I've always got 2, 3, 4 items with me that I found in whatever city that I'm in. And it's just fun to get out and meet people, and I know that people enjoy stopping and looking, in the booth, and great conversations end up.
So what was your first computer that you had?
My first computer was probably the Commodore.
Oh,
yep.
Go way back then.
Yes. Yep.
I think that had 64 K of memory. Is
Correct.
That?
Yep.
Well, that was a killer one.
Yeah. Today I'm an Apple product guy.
And what do you use today?
I use the iMac.
The iMac. Yeah. The 5K iMac?
No, the laptop.
Okay. The MacBook Pro.
Correct.
That's what I use. Okay. Well, thanks very much.